Well, new on AMX for this morning, a controversial new local art exhibit is getting ready to open and make a bold statement about gender norms.
Local artist Phyllis Yes has gained international acclaim for her feminist works that cross mediums and defy stereotype. The well-known painter, professor, and playwright was nominated and selected as a finalist for Quinn's Remarkable Woman in 2020. Well, her newest series of paintings are a project decades in the making, and she's here to talk with us about it today. Phyllis, good morning. So glad to have you here.
Good morning.
Nice to be here.
Well, let's get into this new exhibit. I'm really excited to come and see it. So tell us about the story behind Dusty at Home, these new pieces that are going to be on display.
Okay, so 50 years ago, a long time, I got a divorce, and part of the reason was that my husband of 10 years that I put through school, who did not work outside, I was the one bringing in the salary and so forth, but he would not sign that I could have a credit card in my own name.
Right.
So I had to be Mrs. So-and-so. And he also did no chores around the house because that was my job since I was female. Anyway, I decided that I would hire a young man model to do stereotypical female jobs around the house. Now, originally I thought I might do paper guys rather than paper dolls and have different outfits for vacuuming and cleaning the toilet and so forth. But life got in the way, and I set aside these pictures. I had them made into postcards, but I'm sure they wouldn't have gone out. I had to get a private person to what do you call it?
To even print them?
Yeah, to print them.
To publish them?
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Right,
Wow.
because if you take it to the store, they would think that they were
Or was it considered
obscene
material?
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
That
We
is
don't always see the same
interesting.
pushback for photos and depictions of naked women.
In art history, you see very, very few nude men, and that's because the artists were
Often male.
mostly men.
Yeah.
Right? And in fact, when I went to college and others in my era, there were no women at all in art history books, not
Wow.
one. We tried to get some in the 70s, and it wasn't until Jansen, who had the most books on the market, we asked him to add a couple. He refused, and finally when he died in '84, his son put in a few.
Wow.
And so these paintings here are based off this series of photographs that you took 50 years ago. The paintings are going to be part of this new exhibit, Dusty at Home.
That's right. They're large, 4 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah. What made you want to revisit those photos and turn them into painted works?
Now's the time. Now, I think things have changed, that it's not totally gender driven anymore. But how does a person decide, or how do two people who are living together decide who does what? What's the conversation like? What's the outcome like? And so I thought it was time to kind of make a conversation, a discussion about it.
Well, and that discussion has changed so much over the last 50 years. So, you know, now that this exhibit is put together, when people go and view it, what do you hope their conversation is, maybe either at the exhibit or on the way home in the car?
I think they should talk about it. I know books have been written. One's called Equity in the Home. And it's just a really personal story for me, but also one that is, I can't say totally universal, but when I had an exhibit in Japan, a very different exhibit than this one, but it was gender-based, and the women would come up to me and say, keep talking about this, keep talking, because in Japan, the same kind of thing as to who did the housework.
Well, and I mentioned this was a bit of a controversial exhibit because actually the venue to display these paintings has changed.
Yes.
After the original location said they no longer felt comfortable, you know, displaying these works. Why do you think that even this day and age, still some of this commentary on gender norms and some of the depictions, you know, of maybe kind of some gender bending stereotypes, why is that still met with some tension here.
I'd like to figure that out.
Yeah.
I posted the one of Dusty and the loading clothing into the not the dishwasher, the
in the laundry
washing machine,
Yeah.
and on Facebook, and it was instantly deleted, and it's from the back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No private parts showing at all.
Yeah.
And yet there are gross ones of women
Right.
on Facebook.
And this is
Wow.
art. These are paintings being
Right.
displayed in
Right.
an art context. It's very interesting.
It is interesting, and
It
that's why
makes
the
you think.
conversation will continue on.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
All right, Phyllis, really appreciate your time for being here. It's really interesting and important to talk about, and that is a conversation that I'm sure many people will be having at the exhibit. So
And
appreciate
the
your
opening
time.
is tomorrow from
Yes.
10 to 5, and I'm
Yes.
excited, and I hope I can get the paintings there without them getting wet.
Oh my goodness, yes. I
We
think
will do
we're
everything we
drying
can
out
to
the
make that
forecast
happen.
for you.
Please do.
Kelly's putting in a good word for you. So yes,
Okay.
it did find a new home. So you can go and check out Dusty at Home, debuting Wednesday at the Water Tower on Macadam Avenue in South Portland. These works will be on display daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow through June 26th. So go and check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to go see that for sure. All right.